This is episode number 34 of Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse, and in today's episode we will be talking about the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
Everything Disney in and out of the house. Two grown-ups and a mouse.
Hi there, I'm AJ.
I'm Andrew.
And you are listening to, or watching, or listening to and watching, Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse.
The podcast.
The video cast.
Yeah.
That thing where we post on Mondays and you can hear Disney stuff going on.
Exactly.
Just Disney stuff that we're interested in. It's all about Disney.
All about Disney.
And we have no kids.
And we have no kids.
So a lot of it's about what we do without kids.
I think so. That's right.
Sometimes we go with friends that have kids.
Yeah.
And we talk about kids a little bit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we're two grown-ups.
And a mouse.
This is a mouse. I'm pointing to the...
That's a telephone.
Well, it is a telephone in the shape of a mouse.
All right.
So, and the mouse represents all things Disney, which is what we like to talk about. All things Disney.
That's right.
So, if you haven't done so already, please remember to subscribe. Then you'll find out whenever we post a new episode.
That's right.
You can listen to us on your favorite podcast system, Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, you name it, we should be there.
Yep.
You can watch us on YouTube if that's more convenient, or you can go right to our website. Right. Everything is Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse. Our website, of course, is twogrownupsandamouse.com.
Yep.
So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
Okay.
I was about to say food and wine.
I know you were.
Yeah, I was. There are a few festivals.
Yep.
In Epcot, and if we start at the beginning of the year, there is the Festival of the Arts, which just ended recently.
That's correct.
That is followed by the Flower and Garden Festival. Then it's the summer months when they don't really do the festivals because Epcot is naturally busy. A lot of people do go to Walt Disney World over the summer. And then they start again with the festivals with the Flower and Garden Festival. And that is followed by the Festival of the Holidays.
Did you say flower and garden or food and wine?
I don't know.
All right. Well,
if I did, I'm tired.
It's art, garden,
yeah, food
and wine, and then holidays.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know. That would be interesting because knowing me, I probably did mess it up.
Yeah. Whatever. Who cares?
Either way. Sorry about that, guys. I'm tired. I had a long day. But we find that what Epcot seems to do now is they've really incorporated a lot more food into all of their festivals.
Right.
So it's almost like every festival is a mini food and wine festival.
Pretty much, because obviously that's a good way for them to make money. Because before, when the early days of, well, I shouldn't say early days of Flower and Garden, but for a long time, there wasn't really that much special. I mean, there was merchandise and that kind of stuff, but there, so you went into Epcot and, there's lots and lots of topiaries to look at, but there was nothing to spend money on. So now they can set out food and booze and that's earn some extra money.
That's our interpretation. We didn't see as much, and it seems as if they have grown.
Sure. But they also theme it. So, at Flower and Garden, it's usually more about organic foods and sustainability and that kind of stuff.
Naturally grown, locally grown.
Yeah.
All those fun things.
As opposed to, food and wine is obviously the international food and wine. So it's foods from around the world. So
right. And I don't think we might not have said this before, but all of these festivals are included with your admission into Epcot.
That's correct.
So if you are an annual pass holder, a seasonal pass holder, whatever pass, if you have one of those passes that gets you into Epcot, then when you go into Epcot, you can enjoy the festival.
That's correct.
And that's for all of their festivals. Right now, it seems that one-day admission starts at $109 for an adult. But it often, they say the more you play, the less you pay.
That's pretty
per
much,
day.
That's pretty much true.
Yeah. So, if you end up going for a few days or if you get a package, they recently within the past couple of months, they announced a package for August, like August, September, where you get free dining. So
Right.
my point about that is you can look for packages and look for deals and find out what's going to be the best for you.
Well, and Epcot also has special passes. Like I think they have a weekday pass and then like maybe an after 4 pass.
But did those, you might need to be a Florida resident
possibly
to get those particular passes. So
But either way, it always benefits to look and see what's available.
yeah, definitely look and see and price compare. And, everyone is different. You and I, we are Gold Pass holders.
Right.
Because for our needs and purposes, that seems to be the best fit for us. And that's something that is available to Florida residents, the Gold Passes. They're different passes for, if you're not a resident. But like I said, definitely, as you said, look into the different passes that are available. Or as I said, look and see what kind of packages there are and find out if that might be the best route to go when you're planning your vacation. As you already mentioned, the Flower and Garden Festival has a lot of topiaries, dozens of topiaries. I wrote down some of them, but honestly, I'm typing them out so that we'd have them in our notes, and there were a whole bunch more.
Yep.
So I did not get all of them, but just to give an example of some of the topiaries that are available, which I'm looking at the list, and it's pretty much in alphabetical order. I know I wrote Toy Story, but that's not what it said. It said Bo Peep. So it was in alphabetical order. And an Elsa from Frozen, Beauty and the Beast is in France. Bambi and Friends is in the UK, Canada, in between the two of them. Various Toy Story characters are in Future World East. A bromeliad dragon, not sure what that is. Because I don't think it's like a Disney character. I think it's just a traditional Chinese dragon.
Perhaps.
Yeah. In China, Captain Hook and Peter Pan in the UK. I feel like those are there like all the time.
Pretty much.
There's
a
or
lot.
TikTok is there all the time, maybe.
Well, there's a lot of Peter Pan in the UK with Captain Hook. TikTok will be there. Like they'll put Peter Pan up at the top of one of the buildings in the UK, and they kind of build it out. As you said, there's lots of topiaries, but they repeat some. And there's new ones every year, and then there's obviously repeats. So
right. I mean, you can go to the DisneyWorld.com website if you want to see, and you can find a full list of all the topiaries that are there.
Right.
But there are quite a few of them.
Yep.
There's definitely a few, and they're beautiful. I mean, they're really neat to look at. Other things that they have at the festival are exhibits and how-to on gardening. And they didn't say this, but I would venture to guess that a lot of those you would find in the festival center.
Yes.
Located near Mission Space.
Well, it's between Mission Space and what will soon be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. If you're going into Epcot, when you pass Spaceship Earth, you can kind of turn left.
Yep.
And you can find the festival center over that way. Typically, a lot of the exhibits and the seminars that they hold are typically going to be held in there. And oftentimes you can find festival merchandise.
Right.
And we recently discussed the art festival, Festival of the Arts, and they did not open the festival center.
Right.
Instead, they had the Odyssey Center open, and that was the festival showplace.
Right.
It's a lot smaller, but that festival is a lot smaller and a lot newer. So, it's kind of building its reputation and its image and, what they want to do with that. So the Odyssey Center being a smaller venue was great for Festival of the Arts. But since the Flower and Garden Festival goes on for such a long period of time and it is so popular, I would be surprised if they did not open the festival center.
I assume they will.
Yeah,
just because they're going to do the how-tos. There will be more merchandise just because it's a little, as you said, it's more established. So,
and it's also a longer festival. I mean, as I said, it's from March. If I didn't say it, I'm saying it now. March 6th through June 3rd, so it's 90 days long.
Yeah.
And so it gives people ample time to get to the Flower and Garden and check everything out.
Sure.
And also, a lot of the festivals have an outdoor concert series.
Yep.
And this is no exception. There is the Garden Rocks Outdoor Concert Series. And you can get advanced seating like we did with Disney on Broadway at the Festival of the Arts. You can get Garden Rocks Outdoor Concert Series dining packages are available. And that's really really popular.
You'll need to go look and see which restaurants are doing it. And then just keep in mind that there's a minimum purchase at the restaurant.
Spend.
Yeah. And then I assume it's going to be roughly the same. So it's going to range from, $60 to $80 a person kind of thing.
Probably, I would have to venture.
Depending on the restaurant. And then you get you get
an appetizer, a main course, a beverage, and a dessert. A non-alcoholic beverage.
Right, at the restaurant. But you're going to get kind of preferred seating. You won't have to wait as long. So it's if you want to see it and you want to eat, you're good to go.
Exactly. And what I read online, which I'm not very clear what this was, but you and I will be going to the festival within the next few weeks.
Right.
We most likely will be at the festival a few times.
Probably.
But we will be going within the next few weeks so we can get more information at that time. And it said 5 fresh festival merchandise collections. And I'm not really sure what they meant by that. But
I don't know.
Like I said, we'll find out. We'll see if we, hopefully we'll remember to look into that when we do go. Something else they have special for the festival are guided tours.
Yep.
And it's funny because one of the tours they promoted is the Behind the Seeds tour. Mm-hmm. But honestly, that particular tour is in the land, and you can get that even when it is not the Flower and Garden Festival.
Right. The tour runs all year long.
That tour runs all year long. You can book it in advance if you would like. Honestly, though, you probably won't have a problem booking it same day. I don't want to misspeak. I don't want to promise anyone that, but...
Well, it depends on when you go. So if it's busier, but they do run it multiple times a day.
Yes, they're only about 30-minute tours or so. So
and it's a short walking tour into the land. So if you've been on the land boat ride, you're going to see some of the same stuff, but you get it. It's actually a good tour, and it's not very expensive.
And we've done it twice.
Yeah.
At least. It's $25 for adults and $20 for kids. So that is definitely a tour that we recommend, especially if you want to see kind of what the tours are like. That's a great way to get your feet wet.
Sure.
Doing that tour since it isn't that expensive. But they also have an English tea garden tour brought by Twinings, of course, in England. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see a price on that. So I think that might be one that's free. However, it is limited availability.
Right.
I think I read there were like 20 people per tour. So that since it is, I believe, free, that probably will go pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And they have a royal tea garden tour for $20. And they also have Gardens of the World for $85. So we enjoy tours. We might look into one or more of those tours, see what they're all about.
Right.
And for those of you who have kids, unlike us, as we already said, we don't have kids, but we know that a lot of you do. So there is a lot of fun for kids, including a variety of play areas, gardens, and exhibits designed especially for children.
Right.
And would you like to talk about the next item on there? We've done this before.
Sure. Because it actually ties into the fun for kids part too, because... But it's the, what do they call it? The egg extravaganza scavenger hunt. And then, so basically you pay a few dollars, in this case, $6.99.
Plus tax.
Plus tax. And they'll give you a little map and you do a kind of a scavenger hunt. So you get a map of rough locations. You have to find a character, put a sticker on the map. And then when you're done, you bring it back and you'll get a reward, which has been... either a pin or something else. Last time it was a little less.
Sometimes when it's the extravaganza,
right.
They've given eggs,
right.
like decorative eggs at the end.
Right.
But yeah, they've done ornaments for different scavenger hunts. They've done pins for different scavenger hunts. So,
right.
But it's a cute little knickknack or,
Sure. And it's a fun way, as an adult, if you just want the knickknack, you can just pay the $7 and say, give me my stuff.
Or as a kid,
Right.
Or as a kid, you don't have to put all the stickers on the map. I mean, if you don't have time to
Sure.
go through and do the scavenger hunt, and you just want to pay $7, you could buy the map. And what they do, or at least what they've done in the past, is they flip the map over, they stamp it to show that you redeemed it,
Right.
and they give you whatever that end gift is.
But it's a cute way for keep the kids interested as you're looking around at all the stuff that's around the world. So it gives them something to go looking for while you're enjoying food and topiaries and everything else. So
Exactly. Yeah. It keeps them occupied, so they're not like, Mom, Dad.
right.
And what I noticed also when I was looking things up is the Goodness Garden Butterfly House, which, is just like it sounds. There's a whole bunch of butterflies. It's beautiful. But what I was so happy is it says presented by Go-Go Squeeze. That makes me happy, because if you don't know what Go-Go Squeeze is, it's those little apple sauces that you can unscrew the top and you don't need a spoon to enjoy it. So it's basically baby food, or toddler food. I love it though.
No,
and
they're good.
It's great because they give out samples of them typically, or they have in the past. So I'm hoping that they'll be giving them out again, especially when it's hot and they're handing out a free Go-Go Squeeze. They're typically cool, so they're handing you a free Go-Go Squeeze and it really cools you off. I mean, it's a great little snack. So that made me really happy.
You also breeze past the garden butterfly house, because basically, if you haven't never been, Epcot takes a relatively large amount of area, puts a whole bunch of garden in it, and then they actually raise butterflies from larva stage until they become butterflies. And then, so you walk into this room, it's kind of an outdoor...
It's like a greenhouse.
Almost, yeah. That's the best way to probably put it. So you walk into it, and then you're surrounded by butterflies flying around. If you go at the right times, obviously, if it's, on the first day of the festival, there's not going to be very many butterflies.
Maybe not.
But once you get past that first week or so, you're pretty much, there's always butterflies flying around. So, and they bring out a wide variety of them. So you can go in there and spend a couple hours if you really want to geek out on it. So.
I mean, honestly, you and I, when we go, it's usually about 20 minutes,
right?
Give or take, because we enjoy it, but we don't spend our whole day inside of there. But yes, there are definitely people that, maybe they take a lot of pictures, or maybe they just really enjoy looking at the wildlife and everything. So, excuse me. Excuse me, everyone. But you could spend as much time as you want in there.
Yep.
You and I, like I said, we don't typically spend too much time in there, but it is beautiful, and we definitely enjoy walking through there when we have the moment to do that. And then we already kind of talked, this is the last thing that I had written down notes on, but we already kind of breezed over it, that there are a variety of outdoor kitchens.
Sure.
Which my note also said it makes it feel like a mini Food and Wine with topiaries.
Right.
And when I was looking at the link, I counted at least 19 different food areas. So for anyone that's a foodie, you'll probably really enjoy the Flower and Garden Festival. And as I've said a couple of times already, we will be going. I mean, this is just kind of, we wanted to give an overview since we are posting this episode on March 4th, and the festival does open on March 6th.
Yep.
So just for anyone that already has plans to go or might be planning on going, this kind of gives you a couple of the highlights, so that you'll know what to look forward to, what you might want to be interested in booking or interested in looking for.
Absolutely.
When you go there. And then after we go, we'll do another episode and we will talk more about our personal experience. Maybe if we've tried some of the foods, which I know we will, we can tell you, this was really good.
Right.
Because it usually is. So on that note, it's getting late. I had a long day.
Yeah, me too.
We both had long days.
So.
But I stayed far away from you.
Yep.
I'm so mean.
Well, you are.
No, I'm not.
How rude.
I'm not, but I am tired.
All right.
So on that, I am going to say thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Yep. Please give us your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any recommendations, questions, whatever it is, please reach out to us.
Yep.
You can contact us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or directly on our website.
Sure.
Everything Two Grownups and a Mouse. Of course, the website is twogrownupsandamouse.com.
That's right.
So on that note, I am going to say good night.
Good morning.
Well, yeah, if it's not nighttime, it is morning, or it could be good afternoon,
Good evening.
or just goodbye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.